Day 4 of the 2021 FIM International 6 Days of Enduro, and the first from the Curone Valley in the Piemonte region. 3 totally new tests were set for the next 2 days, although after the first lap, for safety reasons due to dust, the day's final planned Enduro test at Monleale was abandoned. Still 198 kilometres and 5 tests to separate the riders as the second half of the week got underway. After a 4th place finish yesterday, Team USA were back on form in the new specials. Less than 13 seconds from Spain and 3rd fastest today, the American men consolidate 3rd overall. A better showing from Ryan Sipes after struggling on days 2 and 3. This his 2nd counting ride of the week. Day 4 is the first so far in which Josep Garcia hasn't won. A fall in the 3rd test costing him 24 seconds to Andrea Verona. Impressively though, he did finish fastest in the other 4 to maintain the vast bulk of his scratch lead. Spain certainly can't fault Garcia. They lost another 1 minute 40 today, which can only be contributed to a relative lack of strength and depth. It's Italy who are undoubtedly the more solid team. Their 3 counting riders separated by less than 40 seconds today. Verona continues to lead from the front, Cavallio and Guarneri proving his most consistent backup as they have for the last 2 days. The leading margin is now up at over 5 minutes to Spain behind. It's the 4th day and we're still having a good race, making up significant time on our rivals. We can't afford to drop our guard, we have to remain at full concentration. There's still one full of day of Enduro as well as the cross test. We don't think we've already done it, we're totally focused on continuing this way. For a 3rd successive day, France are beaten by Sweden, meaning their day 1 advantage of over a minute has been reversed into a 45-second deficit. The Swedes, menacing on the tail of the USA yesterday, lost 45 seconds to the Americans today and are now 2.5 minutes back. The podium places looking settled. It's a shame, we've been doing some really good work with the team. Just on the exit of the last special on day 2, through a lot of dust, the bike started to make a strange noise, the same all of yesterday. Then it started to fail a bit and still sounded bad. Today we tried to change the clutch and the engine oil at every control, but it wasn't enough and the bike stopped in the middle of a straight. I'm out, and it's a shame because there's no drop time in juniors, so we're out of the running. But we'll be back next year to try and make it onto the junior podium. It was also a devastating day for the USA, finishing only 5th this afternoon after problems for Austin Walton. Already riding through the pain barrier after a crash at the final special 2 days ago, he suffered another heavy fall in the 3rd special today, and to add insult to injury, was late to his next pit and lost further time. The USA as a result dropped from 2nd to 4th overall, almost 7 minutes now behind the podium places. With Spain and the USA hitting problems, Chile, best of the rest for much of this week behind the lead quintet, capitalised with 4th. Eloy de Gavado has been their fastest rider throughout, and although he was only 17th fastest junior, he and his teammates are more closely matched and consistent than the teams behind. After being beaten by Sweden yesterday, it was a day of consolidation today for France. What was a fight for 3rd is now for 2nd overall, after the USA's difficulties in the Curone Valley. And it's also a contest that now looks settled. The French trio took almost a minute out of the Swedes and are more than 2 minutes clear. With their closest rivals, the USA, dropping back, Italy have seen their advantage at the top of the standings more than double in just 24 hours. Their trio combined were more than a minute faster than France today, and barring a major shock, they will take the 2021 junior title. Today has been a good day, we're still winning and strong at the front. Tomorrow we will have to keep our focus because the specials are very technical, so we'll keep concentrating. Chile and the Czech Republic both beat the USA, whose 3rd man finishes over 10 minutes slower than their fastest. With that lost time, the Americans slipped from 2nd to 4th, the most dramatic event of day 4, because from 7 minutes down, there isn't likely a way back into the podium places. Sweden are the biggest beneficiaries as they return to third. In the Women's World Trophy, France are one of only 3 previous winners. But it's an all-new lineup for them in 2021, and it's therefore been far from straightforward for 3 riders who are rookies to this demanding competition. Today, though, they enjoyed their best result of the week so far in 4th, beating Portugal, largely thanks to the efforts of Justine Martel, who was today's 5th fastest female. Jane Daniels was again 2nd fastest, as Great Britain gained another minute on Spain behind that really puts them in the driving seat for 2nd. The difference over the last 2 days has been Rosie Rowett, who's found her feet in the competition nicely. But there's still no catching the USA. Another 2.5 minutes added today to an advantage that's now up to 11.5. Even a crash in the 3rd special today couldn't halt Brandy Richards, who now has a lead of almost 7.5 alone over Jane Daniels in the scratch standings. A strong effort from France is the main story on day 4, and their battle with Portugal is also the closest inside the lead quintet. With another minute made, Great Britain have a commanding advantage over Spain. Only 1 full day of competition remains, and any margin of greater than a minute is unlikely to be overcome, barring incident tomorrow.